Hi, I'm Dustin Isom with the Cullman Tribune, and I'm here to read to you today chapters 21 and 22 of Treasure Island. It was originally written by Robert Louis Stevenson, but it's been adapted to a children's book. Chapter 21. In the Enemy's Camp. The pirates had taken the house and supplies. I assumed my friends were all dead. There were 6 surviving pirates. One of them was badly wounded, and the other 4 were barely awake. Silver, looking sharp but pale, said, "So here's Jim Hawkins, shiver me timbers." Quite a pleasant surprise for poor old John. They had me with my back against the wall, and I stood there, looking Silver in the face. "Now, Jim, since you have decided to give us a visit," he said, "let me give you a piece of my mind. The doctor thinks you're ungrateful and a traitor. You can't go back to them, for they won't have you." So my friends were still alive. That was good news. I became a little braver now. "Well," I said, "I declare I have a right to know what's going on and where my friends are." He replied, "Yesterday morning, Dr. Livesley came down with a flag of truce. Says he, 'Captain Silver, you're sold out and your ship's gone. We looked out, and by thunder, the old ship was gone. They said you had deserted them and they were fed up with you. Then they left us the fort and supplies, and they left to who knows where." I had realized I had nothing to lose, so I said, "Well, you're in a bad way. Ship lost, treasure lost, men lost, and I'm the one who put you there. I heard you from the apple barrel, and I ruined your mutiny. I put hands at the bottom of the sea. I cut the ship's rope, and I hid her where you'll never find her." To my wonder, none of them moved, but all sat staring at me. "And now, Mr. Silver," I continued, "I don't care if you kill me or keep me alive, but if you do let me go, I'll be a witness against you when you're in the court for piracy." At this, one of the men pulled a knife, but Silver turned on him. "Do you think you're the captain now? Think again. The next man who crosses me will be food for the fishes." A few of the men rose up, but Silver shook his crutch and roared, "Do any of you want to challenge me? I didn't think so. Hold your tongues then. This boy is braver than all of you put together." There was a long silence, and a pirate named George came forward, claiming the crew's right to meet without the captain. Then they all stepped toward the door and out of the house. Silver's eyes told me that he feared the worst. "Now, Jim Hawkins," he said, "you're within half a plank of death, and they're going to turn on me. It's up to us to save each other." I dimly understood and realized I had no choice. I said, "I'll do what I can." "It's a bargain then," cried Long John. "Jim, tell me this. Why did that doctor give me the treasure map?" My face showed such shock that he saw no reason to ask me anything else. Chapter 22. The Return of the Black Spot. Just then, the door opened, and one of the 5 stepped forward, passing a slip of paper to Silver. "The black spot!" Silver cried. Then one of them said, "Just turn it over and see what's wrote there." He turned the spot over and read the word "deposed," which meant he was no longer to be called captain. George Merry spoke. "First, you've made a mess of this trip. Second, you let the enemy out of the trap. Third, you wouldn't let us chase after him. And fourth, there's this here boy." "Well," said Silver, "let me answer your charges. I made a mess of this trip, did I? Well, you know what I wanted, but you led them against me. You crossed me, George." With that, George looked away. Silver was furious. "How dare you try to be captain over me? As for the boy, he's our hostage. I'm not going to kill our only hostage. And as for the deal I made with the doctor, part of it is that he comes here each day to tend to your wounds. And I got this in exchange," Silver cried, waving the treasure map in the air. Silver then threw the map on the floor, and the pirates all pounced on it like cats upon a mouse. I instantly realized it as the original map I had found in Billy Bones' chest. Why the doctor had given it to him, I could not imagine. "Mighty pretty," said George, "but how are we to get away with it, and us with no ship?" Silver sprang up. "I don't want to hear another word. As for the rest of you, You lost the ship. I found the treasures. Who's a better man than that? But I resign by thunder. Elect who you please. The men began chanting, Silver, silver. So that's how it's going to be? Well, George, looks like you'll have to wait to be captain. That was the end of the night's business, and we all went to bed. I had trouble sleeping, though. I couldn't stop thinking about the dangerous game Long John Silver was playing, and how badly it was sure to end. All right, that concludes this week's installment of Treasure Island. Tune in next week for chapters 23 and 24. Good night.